Okay, so I should probably record this explanation. Friday's learning enhancement, which means we have report cards due on Monday, and it is basically a credit recovery day. If you are missing things, well, they're giving us the day to work on report cards, but if you are missing things, this is the day to get things done. The following people must be here on Friday, because you're missing a test for me. Gershon B. Gershon B. Put your phone away. Okay. Well, pay attention to what I'm saying then. You need to be here on Friday, because you are going to write me the exponents test on Friday. Ruben.
Ruben's coming by the way. He's like 10 minutes away.
Where is he? Doctor's appointment. Okay. Ruben needs to be here. Remind me that Ruben needs to be here. Hayden, you need to be here Friday. You're going to be here Friday to write a listen to me, Hayden. Friday is a learning enhancement day. The school is open. It is optional to be here unless your teachers tell you that you need to be here. You need to write me that test on, it's the Unit 1 test on rationals. I'd like you to write it on Friday. I don't care. You can show up whenever you like, write it and leave. But you got to be here on Friday to write it. Hayden. There are other Hayden, not you. Dose tests need to be completed. I would like you here Friday as well. Oliver. You're coming to hang out with Hayden on Friday. Both of you are writing the same test.
Can we do it together?
You absolutely may not do it together. Andrew, you're hanging out with your two buddies on the people you sit next to on Friday. Same test.
I'm coming at 2:15.
You will not be here at 2:15 because I will kick you out at 2:35. You need to start at the very latest 1 o'clock. You do not start late. Do not start this test later than 1 o'clock.
So you think it takes an hour 20 to do this test?
No, I want it done and marked so I can get out of here at a reasonable time.
Oh, okay.
Do not show up later than 1 expecting to be allowed to write. If you don't write this test, I mean, you will still have time afterwards, but the report card you're going to get on Monday is going to look real bad.
Oh, it's on this Monday?
Yeah, because those tests go in there if you haven't written them. Those tests go in there as zeros. The earliest you can show up is 8 a.m. The latest you can show up is 1 p.m. Do not expect to start later than 1. So Andrew, Sahib, I'm missing a test from you as well. And Dilkaran, exponents test. Liam, not here. Anybody else? Everybody else has written. If anybody would like to do their rewrite on Friday, you are welcome to do that as well. To do a rewrite, again, on a test, you have to be able to show me you've completed all the homework I've assigned for the given unit, corrected the quizzes we did, and show me that you've gone through the tests, or the test that you want to rewrite, and that you've figured out how to do all the things you screwed up. You do those 3 things, I let you rewrite. If you would like to have that done on Friday, probably not a terrible decision for some of you, because again, these report cards are going out on Monday. So there will be a grade on there. I will have to share comments about why I think the grade is the way the grade is, and what you can do to improve from the grade as is written. What is going on here? Are there any questions? Yes, Dilkaran. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm tempted to do at least for math, print them all out and require that they go home and return to me signed. Like, I'm tempted to do one of those progress report style things. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's not that complicated. Fair enough. I would like online better if it was a better system. Okay. Check My Progress used to be awesome. This new one's terrible. Is it a quiz?
Yeah.
Okay, you staple That's not how I wanted you to do corrections. You have to write out the question, which you have not done. Where? Show me.
Like I wrote these questions down.
Oh, you did. I just didn't see them because they're so light. Then you take your corrections, you staple them to the back. If you corrected everything,
No,
okay, so then don't staple. Well,
I did 7 questions.
why would you not do them all?
Um,
You should do them. You should correct everything. Okay. So, your attendance question today is this. With Halloween around the corner, I don't know if I've made this obvious or not, but I'm a huge fan of zombies. Love zombies. Zombies are cool. No. On Friday, once everyone is done, if you want to watch a zombie movie, I'll throw one up. Well, then leave. I'll watch a zombie movie by myself. So, this week is a whole set of zombie apocalypse related questions. Today your question is, so these are World War Z type zombies. The Last of Us has similar kinds of zombies, except it's not a fungus in World War Z. But it's those kind. They can run. They will hear you. They are going to kill you. Today's question is, how are you going to arm yourself for the zombie apocalypse? It needs to be a real, feasible weapon that you could actually use yourself. No, you cannot use a nuclear bomb.
I mean, I figured it out.
Okay? So a real, feasible, usable, Ruben, you got to be here on Friday to write me a test kind of question. Friday is a learning enhancement day. There's no regular classes, but I need you to be here to write me a test. I don't remember which one it was. Ruben, it is the exponents test. Okay. Brielle, which movie are we talking about? Which movie are we talking about? Yeah, The Terrifier. I've never heard of this movie. Okay, let's start with you. Dil Karan. How are you arming yourself? Hey, shh. How are you arming yourself for the zombie apocalypse? Be as specific and realistic as possible. How are you going to arm yourself? What weapon? What weapon? How are you going to? So you're not going to have like you need to get out of the truck to go into the store to get food, personal self-defense weapon. Oh, okay. Dil Karan thinks he's going to use a grenade launcher. Charlie. Oh boy, really? You know how heavy those things are? You're going to wield that against a bunch of horde of zombies? Charlie's going to die. Sahib. Hey, guys. Sahib, how are you arming yourself for the zombies? Take your hand away from in front of your face. Sahib, how are you arming yourself for the zombies? How will you defend yourself? Sahib doesn't know. Caitlin, what kind of gun? A shotgun. Brielle. One and done. Brielle gets a hand grenade. Avneet. Avneet? What kind of gun? Okay, shh. Brielle, you had your chance. Avneet. Annie, you gotta pick one. A machine gun. Ness. An AK-47. Andrew. Juno. Bow and arrow. That's you've spent some time playing zombie video games kind of weapon. I like it. Gabe. Gabe's, no. Japanese. How are you defending yourself from the zombies? You don't know. Oliver, how are you defending yourself from the zombies? No. No. Real weapon.
It is real.
The ray gun from Modern Warfare?
Yeah, no, from Black Ops.
No.
But zombies aren't real.
They are. All things being equal, zombies are real. I want you to pick a real weapon.
That means the ray gun is
Pick a weapon. A real weapon. Okay, skipping Oliver. Nope, I'm not airing it. Hayden. A scar. Okay, bold choice. Done. Andrew is your weapon. You're going to swing Andrew around by his ankles. Ruben. A rock. Anyone who's played The Last of Us will know how highly effective a brick can be, so. Gershon. What kind of gun? What kind of gun? One gun. It's not a gun, but I'll accept it. Angel. Jason. Gershon B. Why do I even ask you? Raven. Raven. Okay, skipping Raven. Marcus. Kind of gun. Okay. It's a good choice. Emma. Landmines. Dilkron. We're back to you. Okay, so. Raven, do you have an...
Static HB with the quartermasters. No stop.
A what?
It's a gun.
From where?
He's talking about Connor.
Call of Duty. Quartermasters, no stop. And
Why would you want no stall?
And neither model.
So we've got one hunter in the room. See, the 270 doesn't have a lot of range.
No, it's actually really powerful. It's good for big game.
It's not great for big game. Like, how big are we talking here? I guess if you're a perfect shot, then yeah, you can take them. My wife's got a 270. I would not be confident enough in my ability to perfect shot. See, I have my 300. I would be a lot more comfortable with that. Yes. Yes, you can add something to your sledgehammer. A what? A brick. No. Okay, get your workout. Today we're collecting like terms. If you haven't already, put your phone away. I see too many phones. Here we go. You're researching your weapon? I'll allow it. No. Here, I posted a video. Here we go. So, here are the answers to the homework from Wednesday. Thursday, if you were away, we went over the tests. This was from Wednesday, and there was no school Friday.
Yes, sir.
Any comments, questions, concerns about anything you might see here? I'll let you figure it out, Raven.
Yep, it is.
Raven can't figure it out. Okay, Hayden, get your stuff out. Love it. You're on the wrong page. Hey, enough. Not again. Fantastic. Questions, comments, concerns about the bottom? Is there anything anyone would like me to go over? Rio, we good? We good? You've checked your answers with my answers? Yes, Dilkaran. X squared minus, which one? Oh, these two. Okay, when there is no number written, it should be, to the right, Oliver. That stack right there that has underneath that stack. Yeah, that guy right there. Thank you. So when there is no coefficient written, Dilkaran, the number is a 1. So x is going to have a coefficient of 1, and the negative x, if there is no number written, just a minus sign, then it's a negative 1. There are no constants here because there is no number, like plus a number with no variable. Yes, Juno.
5b, it says it has two, it's like a diagonal, but like there's three.
Sorry, which one am I looking at?
5b.
B5?
Yeah, 5.
Okay.
Because there's three terms in between like plus and minus signs. Would that make it a trinomial?
Yes, but that's not what this question is asking.
Oh.
The question is not asking what kind of polynomial, it's asking for the degree of the terms and the degree of the polynomial. Fair enough, no worries. But you are right, 5b would be a trinomial. If that was the question I was asking, you'd be 100% correct. Is there anything anyone else wants? Dilkaran, did you get your question answered? Okay. Wait, you weren't here. No, I'm not letting you copy the answers. Okay. 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 So, flip the page. Today we are going to skip lesson 2 and we're going to go straight to lesson 3, collecting like terms. So, terms in math. A term in math is just a mathematical object. Okay? So if you stay on this page, I'm going to flip back. So looking at these things, these are just mathematical objects. This is the number 2. This is the letter x. Aiden. This is the mathematical object x squared, and I happen to have 3 of them. The coefficient out front tells you how many of the object you have coming after it. That's what the purpose of the coefficient is. So, for terms in math to be like, that word like doesn't mean similar, like means the same. They mean to be the same mathematical object. So terms are like if they have the same variables and, I want you to box the word and, because that was a challenge first thing this morning. Maybe it was because it was first period on a Monday morning. That word and is important. The same degree. So the term needs to have the same variables and degree. In fact, I'd almost rather you think about them as having the same exponent. It'll make your life a lot easier. The same variables or the same letters, and those letters have to have the same exponents. For example, this is a term here, this mathematical object is x squared. This mathematical object is x squared, and I happen to have 2 of them. That's the purpose of this coefficient here. Tells you how many you have. So, I've got an x to the power of 2, I've got an x to the power of 2. Are these terms like? Yeah, they are. Have the same letters, same degree. The coefficients are allowed to be different. The coefficients just tell you how many you have, but yes, otherwise, these are like terms. And as such, we could combine them. Hold on, stay right there. While Gershon is at the front, does anyone else need this booklet? Would anyone like a hand delivery from Gershon? No? Okay, you're good. Have a seat. Okay, next one. I've got a negative 2x cubed over here, and I've got a negative 2y cubed. Are those terms like? Dilkaran, you said yes and then you said no. Why did you change your answer? Because you heard other people say no. Who did you hear say no? Emma? You trust Emma? Yes. Emma, why did you say no? Because one's ends, one's right. You are correct, Emma. Dilkaran, you were wise to change your answer. The letters have to be the same, and the same letters have to have the same degree. This one's x, this one's y. They are not like terms. yeah. I don't know how else I can say
Yes.
that.
This one's a yes.
It is, Raven. Why?
Because the letter and like the exponent thing, whatever.
They're both letter.
The letter.
The letters are both y's, and the exponents are both 3's. Even though this one's a 1 and this one's a -3, otherwise, they're the same. Hayden, you with me? This doesn't look like it. It looks like you're trying to figure out candy. It doesn't. You serious? What a throw. I was any one of the 5 of you I figured would get the pen to Hayden. Yeah. I didn't care who I hit. I was actually, honestly, I was trying to, if I got it to Marcus's desk, I was going to be happy with the throw. Okay, so yes, whoever, oh, Raven, you are correct. These two are alike. How about this one down here?
Yes.
Juno, why did you say no then yes?
Because the X
Dilkron, shush.
the same exponent.
They both have x. The exponent on the x is the same. And they are both have y's, even though they're written in opposite orders. When there is no symbol between two mathematical objects, what is the operation in there? It's multiplication. So you are allowed to multiply. So for example, if I asked you what 2 times 3 was, you would say, and if I asked you what order did I just do? 2 times 3 is? 3 times 2 is? It doesn't matter which one comes first. So I've got an x squared y. This is the same thing as yx squared, which is the same as what we have over here. But here I've got a yx squared. This could be written as x squared y. It doesn't matter what order you put the multiplication in. It's the same. Make a note of that here. So for these, the order of variables doesn't matter. Gabe's trying to pay attention. I believe in Gabe. Aiden, stop trying to talk to Gabe. So are these like terms? You betcha. As Juno said already, yes. So if there is no coefficient, you don't see a coefficient, then the coefficient is an invisible 1. And if you just see a minus sign, then the coefficient is -1. So this one's going to be, this one's going to be, this one's going to be, this one's going to be. Oh, see, really straightforward. Okay, so if you have like terms in your expression, we can simplify the expression by collecting like terms or grouping. We good? Okay. And when we're collecting, all we're doing is gathering them up. So we're going to make some really painful examples, then we're going to make them a little bit more interesting. What's going on in example A there? I got 4 x's and I've got 3 y's. So we can literally, as Hayden just said, we can gather those things up. It's what you implied by what you told me your final answer was. You said we had 3 y's. We're going to get to the x's part. Each one of these x's has a coefficient of 1, so each one of these x's represents a single x. So how many x's do I have there total? 4 of them. You didn't say that, but you implied some things based on the words you chose to use. Well, there's being a genius and proving it. When you prove it, I pass you. You just declare it to be true without proving it, it's not going to go well. So I've got 4 x's here. We got 3 y's here. And these are terms that need to be separated by either addition or subtraction. In this case, because these are all positive y's, I want to include the sign that's out front. Because these are all positive y's, this is going to be positive 3. And so the plus sign is going to go in there as the operation that's in there. So the sign, the positiveness or negativeness of it. All of it, write on your own thing, not on my desk or Hayden's work. The sign on the coefficient becomes the operator, or the operation. So we got 4x plus 3y. Did I have to write it in that order? Because if I had 4x plus 3y, could I have written this as 3y plus 4x? Are those the same? Either they are or they're not. You can't be kind of the same. Well, my question was, are they the same? Either they are or they're not. I'm not leaving any room for similarity here. Either they are the same or they're not the same. Why aren't they the same? If they have the same answer, what do you mean they have the same answer?
Either adding 3y or you're adding 4x.
Why?
Because they just switched around and it's the same meaning.
So let's take out the variables for a second. If I had 5 plus 2, that means I'm taking 5 and I'm adding 2 to it. Or 2 plus 5, I'm at 2 and I'm adding 5 to it. If the result is the same, then those two expressions must be equivalent. They're the same. So if I have 4x plus 3y, it's the same as this. If I had y x squared and I had x squared y, and we said these were the same because it doesn't matter what order you multiply in, are 4x plus 3y and 3y plus 4x the same? Does it matter what order you add in? No. So yeah, these have to be the same.
Well, if you have 5 cookies and you add 2 cookies, you have 7 cookies. But you didn't originally start with 2 cookies and add 5 cookies. Because you're starting with 2 and you're adding 5. But before the answer, you had 2 cookies and you added 5. It was the opposite. You originally had 5 before the answer.
But at the end of the day, how many cookies do you have?
7.
Is the end result the same?
Yeah.
Then the situations are equivalent. Stop. And part of the problem is you're isolating it to you and your cookies. If you just forget the fact that the cookies belong to you, do the cookies exist? There was a place where 2 cookies existed and 5 more cookies existed, and then those 2 places were brought together. If you stop thinking about what you possessed and opened up, then all of a sudden the situations become more obviously the same. What I'm trying to tell you is be less obsessed, but not actually. Okay, so B. What do we got? Let's simplify that thing. Let's condense it down. We have 3 1s, so 3 1s is just 3. Very good. There are 3 x's. There's 1 right here and 2 more over here. And there are 2 y squareds. So how are we going to write that out? I have 3 1s, you said, so that's 3. When you say that there's 3 x's, you mean there's positive 3 x's? So we're going to write in the plus sign, positive 3 x's. So plus 3x. And you said, Dilkron, that there was then plus 2y squared. Now, I asked you before if these two are equivalent, and based on a little bit of arguing, I'm hoping you can see that they are. There is, though, a best order to write these things in. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to order these by 2 things. First, by degree, and 2, with degrees being equal, we're going to go alphabetical. So, to go back and look at question 1, or letter A rather, if I want to use these conventions now, I want to order these by degree, and then if the degrees are the same, alphabetical, which of these is the better ordering? The first one or the second one? The degree is the sum of the exponents on the variables within a single term. So the degree here, because the exponent on the x is a 1, the degree of this term is 1. The degree of this term is also 1. So the degrees are the same, so we want to go alphabetical. By the highest. Thank you, Brielle. Excellent question. Highest down to lowest, and then alphabetical. So yeah, perfect. That answers my question. So then this is the better of the two orderings. They're equivalent, but there is a best order. So this thing then, 3 plus 3x plus 2y squared, is a correct version of this, but it is not the best version. Oliver, put your phone away. The best version of this is what? Which term is going to come first? Highest degree on down. Andrew, you look like you've tried to say something twice. He keeps opening his mouth to say something. Brielle, what did you say? 2y squared is going to be first. Yep. You betcha. This is the correct order. The conventional order to write that in. Very good. Okay, next one. What have I got there? So one of the things I want you, one of the techniques you guys could use to keep track of what you've got there is to use different shapes to circle up or gather your like terms. For example, I'll circle my x's. Obviously those are going to be the same because there's an x and an x. Do I have any more x's? Does I just read down the line? Yeah, I've got one right here and one right here. And I want to include the sign that's out front of all of them. And these x squareds are different. They are unlike because these ones have a squared, these ones don't. So I'm going to use boxes for these, and I'm just going to gather my shapes. Which ones are going to come first? Good afternoon. I do. To Mrs. Kane? Yes, I can do that. Is she going to be on a while? Okay. And she doesn't need to bring her stuff with her. Okay. Yeah, bye. So, which one of these objects is going to come first if I'm ordering them properly? The x's or the x squareds? Juno. The x squareds. Good. Bigger degree. How many x squareds do I have? 3 of them. So we're going to have 3x squared, and now what? And it's positive 4x. So we're going to put plus 4x. You bet. Cool. Letter D. Let's do the next one, unless there's questions. Let's do the next one. What am I going to get for D? Emma, do you have any thoughts about letter D? Because you have thoughts about other things. I want to hear your thoughts about letter D. Yeah, I know, taxidermy. That's dark. How about letter D? What are my like terms in D? Yeah, so Brielle, I got some XYs. Yes, XY and YX are the same, you betcha. Yes, and then the squared too, very good. So then which of those terms is coming first when I order them? Yeah, the YX squareds, you betcha. So you could write it as YX squared, or you could write it as X squared Y, either one doesn't matter. So Brielle said YX squared, and there's how many of them? Sweet. And how many of the other kind? Positive 3 of them. I've got 3xy's. Good. E, what we got? If you take a look there, I have an x squared y. Do I have anything similar to, anything like x squared y? Yeah, how many? Sorry? Where? This guy here? Okay, is that it? The third last one, this is the same as well. Yx squared and x squared y are the same, because the letters are the same. I both have y's, and they both have x's, and the exponents on those are the same. The y's are to the 1, and the x's are to the 2. Cool. So these three are all like. So I've got 3x squared y's. That's done, that's done, that's done. What's my next piece? Someone said xy. I got 1, 2, 3 of those. Yep. So plus 3xy. Thank you, Brielle. Plus 2. And we're done. And these are in the correct order. Okay, so the order of the variables, we've said it a bunch. I'm going to write it down here at the bottom. The order of the variables within a term does not matter. xy is the same as yx. So when you're ready, flip the page. I'll do a couple more examples and we'll call it. Well, I'm going to be done. You guys can get to work then. Okay, so as we go forth now and collect our like terms, the coefficients are going to change. Go for it. Eat your candy if you trust Oliver. Okay, then gentlemen, Oliver, and thank you, Hayden, for putting a good solution to that. There's a couple examples here. Now we're going to start changing the coefficients. All the coefficients before were 1s. So let's make it more interesting. When you're gathering things that have different coefficients, you add or subtract the coefficients depending on how they're written. If they're a bunch of negative coefficients, well, you can think of it as adding negatives or subtraction. If you've got a bunch of positives, you're adding them. You're adding and subtracting the coefficients. And you can organize them a couple different ways. Organizing them, I like to use shapes. Other math teachers would say you should rewrite the question fully, grouping every piece. I don't think you need to go that far. This first one, I'll crank out a few of these with you, and then we'll flip the page and get you guys to work. This one, I've got two terms here, and they are like. They both have n's. They don't have any exponents. Well, the exponents are 1s. So I've got a 5n minus a 3n. If I group those together, how many n's am I going to have? I'm going to have 2 n's. Yeah, because 5 minus 3 is 2 n's. That's it. How about 3a's plus 7a's? I got 10a's. Good. Let's make it more interesting. How about negative 2x squared minus y plus 2y minus 3x squared? All of a sudden you make it a little more interesting, and now we don't know. So let's look, Dilkaran. Let us see if we can identify some like terms. Again, all we care about for like terms are the variables and their exponents. So when you box them up or shape them up, include the sign and coefficient out front. So does negative 2x squared have a like term? It's not 3x squared. Brielle, it is? No, Brielle, you said it right. It is negative. You have to include that sign out front. So if I've got negative 2x squared minus 3x squared, how many x squareds am I going to have? Yes. Negative 5x squareds. Sweet. So those are done. Now let's go circle the rest up. I've got a negative y right there. Does it have any like terms? Remember, like terms have the same letters with the same exponents. So this 2y would be a like term with this negative y, because they both have y's and the exponents on the y's are both 1s. It doesn't matter what the coefficients are. So these guys here are alike as well. So what is negative y plus 2y? You're at negative y, and you're going up 2y. Negative 1. Oh. Say it again, Juno. Because? So the coefficient would be a? It would be a 1, but we don't write the 1. So this would be negative 5x plus y. You could write it as negative 5x squared plus 1y, but this is more conventionally correct. When the coefficient is a 1, we don't write it. So the one I boxed here in green is the better answer, but if at this stage you wrote this down, I wouldn't ding you for it. I will eventually, but not at this stage. You need to get comfortable with the fact that no coefficient is a coefficient of 1. Shall we do another? Or shall I free you to play? Let's do one more. I've got a plus 5 minus a squared plus a squared minus 2a. Sorry? Listen, I just didn't hear what you said, Raven. No, I think you're onto something. I want to hear from you. No, it's not fine. Say it again. I'm pretty sure what you said was good. Say it again. The a squared, that's an a squared and that's an a squared? Yeah, those are like terms, absolutely. I've got a negative a squared and I've got a positive a squared. What's negative a squared plus a squared? Or negative 1 of something plus 1 of that same thing. It's 0. This is going to be 0 a squareds. When you have 0 of something, hey, don't use that language. I didn't ask you over here, whoever got involved in that, Ruben. If I have 0 of something, you don't write, no, just a means I have 1 of it. If I have 0 of something, it's gone, we don't write it. This is gone. So it's not going to be part of our final answer. So now let's group some other things. I've got an a here. Does it have a like term? What's its like term? The negative 2a. So what's a minus 2a? Sorry? It's negative 1a. And now my last piece here is this plus 5, which I'm going to use a triangle for. Do I have anything that's going to group with the 5? Do I have any terms, other constant terms in there? Oliver, hands to yourself. Does 5 have any other constant terms? I'm going to take your silence to answer no, it doesn't. You're right. So that plus 5 there is just going to be plus 5. Now, my only issue with this is that when you have a coefficient of 1 or negative 1, don't write the 1 or negative 1. This is just going to be negative a plus 5. I would like to do one more. Nope, I want you to do these 4. I'm going to walk around and help where needed. New market set, go. There is a typo on question 7. Question 7 should read negative t, leave your phone there, squared plus 2t minus 4 plus t squared. I forgot to take the 1, 2 and make it a superscript. Nope. One of them is t times 2, the other one is t squared, which is t times itself.
Are you watching the Venom movie?
I haven't yet, but I would like to.
Oh, so what happened to
Unrelated to what you're supposed to be working on. That's a fundamentally different, Marcus, does that help?